Welcome, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is a live Q&A so that you can get your questions answered by Faye, who is the founder of the Arcturian Crystal Chamber healing modality. It's quite fascinating. We're going to talk about ways that you can take this out into the world. But first, I want to welcome Faye. Thank you for being here, Hillary. Nice
Oh,
to see you.
thank you so much, Loren. It's wonderful to be with you and everyone.
So questions are going to roll in, but first we're going to start with the frequencies with the Arcturians. So many who have felt the connection to the Arcturians, we're going to feel it even more. There is an introduction to this video, this live Q&A that's on the webpage that got people here, and that was absolutely beautiful. But let's go ahead, Hillary, and experience a few of the frequencies right now. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. So, as the Arcturians share with me, they're consistently flowing really beneficial light to Earth from a lot of custom calibrated crystals and their light ships, as well as from the orange giant, their home planet, the star Arcturus, and the different crystal chambers and temples on Arcturus. So, I invite everyone, if you can, close your eyes for a moment and place your left palm on your heart. And then repeat out loud or silently 3 times. Arcturian light, Arcturian light, Arcturian light. Tuning yourself into that frequency, breathing it in. And I'm being shown the light ship, the starship Athena, is aware of us gathering. And now these holographic fields of light, of living light consciousness, crystalline liquid light frequency, is going to be projected around us in holographic fields from the crystal chamber of healing within the starship Athena. And again, these holographic fields of living light, harmonic, crystalline, liquid light, are now forming above you, in front of you, below you, behind you, on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And now count a few deep breaths, attuning yourself to the harmonic frequencies of the crystal chamber light. Breathing in the light of the crystal chambers. And then breathing in the Arcturian blue healing light. And I'm being shown everyone listening, everyone who may have questions about the Arcturian Crystal Chamber Healers Academy. Each one of you has a primary Arcturian guide, who for some of you may have been a family member in a previous incarnation on Arcturus, such as an Arcturian grandmother or father or brother or sister, or a guide or aspect of yourself. So we want to thank the presence of that guide and invite you to tune into their presence now. Receive one more long, deep breath. And exhale, knowing that the Arcturian light, the Arcturian blue healing light, and the living light frequency of the crystal chamber consciousness will be with you throughout this entire Q&A and beyond. When you're ready, you can adjust your position in any way that feels good to you, really coming into center and then gently opening your eyes.
Thank you for that. It is so indicative of the feeling and the frequency that we are so familiar with. And now we recognize it as Arcturian, and it is beautiful. So, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Even if you're on our YouTube channel, you can ask questions. We'll be checking with the chat box on Zoom here and on YouTube. So, Hillary, we are excited for this because this is something that we can take out into the world and assist. And the Arcturians have said that they are here to assist humanity at this pivotal time. Lots is being deconstructed, dissolved right now. And so taking its place is something brand new, filled with love, structured from love. And so this is really important for everyone on this journey. So, how can people take this into the world? What is the best way for them to work with this? We know it's 12 weeks, but what is your vision of how this can get out to our planet?
Oh, I love that. What I've what the Arcturians have trained me in are the healings that are rooted in what humanity needs the most deeply right now, has been needing the past few years or longer, and will continue to need during this collective ascension process. So the how that they showed me, one, is what we do for ourselves ripples out to thousands and thousands and thousands. So being able to call in the support of the crystal chamber master healers and hold space for these healings for yourself, and to have the Arcturian master healers help facilitate these specific healings for you, such as repairing the aura and the energy field, regenerating and renewing the nervous system, harmonizing the hormonal system. So one for you, and that's a big part of it, because each one of the 12 weeks is a transmission where each individual will see that healing. What we do for ourselves creates a huge ripple. The second impact that I've been shown, I'll show the 4 waves of impact. The second is those in our lives, being able to hold the frequency, being a conduit of this harmonic frequency. There was something the Arcturians even specifically told me, that this is more than a certification. It's a chance to reconnect with your cosmic origins, expand your healing abilities, and be a beacon of light in these transformative times. So, for friends and family, I have one person who has already joined the Crystal Chamber Healing Academy, and there's some bonuses that come with it. And already from that is able to hold deeper space for her kind of adopted daughter who was going through a lot, and really help her find balance and equilibrium and kind of see the lessons in all of it. So when we support ourselves in our healing journey, that ripples out to thousands because of who we're being. Being able to be a more harmonic support for those in our lives, friends, family, community, coworkers, employees, whatever that may be. The third wave is being able to facilitate these healings one-on-one. So whether that be on Zoom distance, on the phone distance, when really there is no distance. When we connect to do this healing work, there's no time and space between us, or in person. So being trained to work with the Arcturians, and pretty much what I've been shown is anything that may come up for an individual. I now have facilitated over 550 crystal chamber one-on-one healing sessions. And what the Arcturians have trained me in is literally anything that could come up. They've shown me if someone has an attachment and they need a clearing, if someone needs emotional healing, if they need physical healing, if they need the energetic work, if it's a past trauma that's causing an issue. So having this really expanded tool belt of ways that you can help an individual with whatever they may be going on that is highly effective and miraculous, working with people one-on-one, which the Arcturians are really asking us to step into holding that space because that's a big part of our mastery. And then the fourth wave is working with these frequencies, the healing chambers, and these healings with groups. As far as a group healing transmission on Zoom, something in person, in a park, in a spiritual center or a yoga center, being able to bring these transmissions, because this work that we do with the Arcturians, it's not even work, but these reclamations, these remembrances, this harmonization that we do with the Arcturians, it can be done in a group. And when we are in a group, whether it's an individual or a group, we have a whole team of Arcturians holding that space and working with the individual, which is really, really incredible. So there are so many ways through being it, through helping loved ones, through working with one-on-one clients, through working with groups. There are so many ways that we can be conduits and further ripple out this really, really incredible healing technology.
It's so wonderful. So if I can hear some questions already. So if people have never done any healing abilities, how can they be confident that they're connecting? Some may have a doubt that they may not be able to hear when someone, for example, has an entity that needs to be cleared or needs emotional healing. How does that present itself to you or a practitioner in this chamber? Like when we are connected with the Arcturians in this way, how do we perceive those messages, those indications of what needs to be done?
Oh, that's such a great question. Well, first, one of the very first modules in the Crystal Chamber Healing Academy is the column clearing, which opens up all of those clear senses and really deepens your ability to telepathically communicate with the Arcturians, because that is how they communicate, which what will feel like just clear knowing, that telepathic communication, claircognizance. One of the ways, because I'm also opening my whole tool belt here, where I have trained over 4,000 healers. I've been doing this work for over 18 years. I've been training healers full time for 11 years. How I work in my sessions is I also give people space when we start the session to share what's going on with them. People know, people have come for the healing session for a reason. And I give that space to make sure that in the session, we are working on what they want to focus on. So 9 times out of 10, you don't have to instantly channel all of the information. The individual who is coming will share and will have an awareness of what is happening in their experience. And you're not living within their body, so they know better than anyone what they're experiencing. But what I'm being shown is that when we're working with the Arcturian frequency and the consciousness of these living light chambers, it just tunes up and tunes on all of our psychic senses, so that even people who may have had doubts previously will be receiving the messages. And that's a lot of the training in the Healers Academy too, is refining and deepening that ability to receive the messages. And some people may feel something, some people may just know something, they're telepathically communicating with the Arcturians. Other people may hear something, clairaudience, they may see something, clairvoyance, like you just all of a sudden see the person's liver in your mind's eye, and then you know to do the healing work on the liver. So, what I have to say for that is to trust that it will always come in the way that it's meant to. The focus in the academy is definitely on intuition, but really it is a healer's academy where someone doesn't have to be telepathic or feel like they're highly intuitive to be able to do these healings because, again, 9 times out of 10, you don't even have to use that to start the session because in the process that I've been shown and how I do the sessions, how I work with the Arcturians is you ask the person what they need. So sometimes it's even just that idea that we're somehow blocked or we won't be able to see, hear, or feel or know what people need. You will, and we kind of clear out these blocks through the column clearing techniques and help hone in those intuitive senses more. And the more you use them, the more they grow. I used to joke that developing your psychic muscles is like developing your physical muscles. If you go to the gym regularly and you're working out, like you feel that difference in your muscles. It's the same thing kind of with these psychic muscles. The more that we practice and the more we use them, the stronger they become.
And the confidence comes from that. And looking back at sessions that would be done, and hindsight is 2020, and that validates all of it. So really good that with every session, that confidence will build, and it becomes so beautiful, doesn't it, to witness what happens in a healing session. So, how long are the sessions typically that a practitioner would hold? If we're doing a one-on-one, for example, would that just be an hour? Is there a certain protocol for that?
There are different protocols for the specific healings, but most of them are 60 minutes or 1 hour. In my personal sessions, I do offer 30-minute sessions and 60-minute sessions because I have the ability to be very efficient within a 30-minute session. But for most people, I would recommend the 60-minute sessions, even up to an 80-minute session for some of the specific healings. Like if you're going to, say, do the aura repair and work on all 7 layers of the aura. So it really depends on the pace of the practitioner and the individual that's receiving. And that's something that people get to play with because it's very much an opportunity for people to do what feels right for them. Even though there are these really simplified and powerful step-by-step, let's say like procedures that I've been, protocols that I've received from the Arcturians, it's still they want you to do what feels good to you and what will feel good for the person receiving. And I'm the same way with that. I don't like to bring in too many strict rules or it has to be this way, but most of the time, a 60-minute session would be really optimal.
Wonderful. Okay. That's great. So we have some questions coming in, and I would love to get those answered. Thank you for those questions, everyone. We are really excited for this because this is an empowering course. Deborah, thank you for your question, sweetheart. You say, do we need to be healed ourselves before we can be a healer for others?
I believe that it is important to be on the path of your healing, to be practicing meditation or to have something that helps you, something where you give to yourself so then you can hold that space for others. But I truly believe that as long as we're in this human experience with these, meat suits of muscles and bones and the density that comes with them, we're all on our healing journey always. I'm on my healing journey. Just yesterday morning, I woke up and was just processing some things and crying in the morning. And then I sat to do my meditation and had such a beautiful energy shift and had the most beautiful day yesterday. But we are all on our healing journey. So I don't even recommend that someone even think that they're fully healed before they are a healing practitioner for others, because if we think we're fully healed, we might be in the ego consciousness. In a way, we all are whole and fully healed. That is the truest energy of it. But what we're experiencing and why we came into the human form is to work through things like this practical application. Let's experience it, to work through it. The mental issues, the emotional issues, the relationship issues, the physical issues. And we may have periods of time where it's like, okay, everything's in balance, everything's feeling really good. But ultimately, I feel like we are here to learn and grow. Our souls learn and grow the most through challenges, especially challenges that we don't experience when we are in oneness with the light, when we are not physically inhabited. So no, no one has to be healed before they can help others. Sometimes holding this space is what brings so much healing, that empowerment to see how you can bring so much value to someone. But particularly with this healing, because in a lot of ways, with what I've been taught by the Arcturians, the practitioner is a healing space holder working with the crystal chamber master healers within the session. So it's not all on the individual. And just to take any of that pressure off of feeling like you have to be fully healed or be in this particular place, sometimes being vulnerable is what someone really needs.
It's so wonderful that you shared that you go through things too, but then look how you were able to shift that energy because it's that ability, that frequency that we tune into. These are the tools that we have to soothe ourselves. And so no matter what comes up, because things still do come up, it's amazing the layers, the layers, the layers that come up. And so we have such incredible support. We thank the Arcturians for this. So it's wonderful that holding space for others in sessions like this can actually work with us and help heal us too. So when you get done with the session, you too must be lit up and feeling good yourself, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I'll have the crystal chamber light around me too while I'm working in the session, and you can receive, so all of us when working with in this way with the Arcturians can receive so much. Then after a session, I feel like I'm in a different dimension of consciousness during and after, that my psychic senses are so tuned in. I'm feeling so much light and connection. It's incredible. Sometimes want to dance after a session. It feels so good.
Wow. Okay. So get ready to feel good, everyone. So, Natasha, thank you for your question. How would we know if we are suitable for Arcturian teachings? I'm doing Hillary's Reiki courses, so I'm wondering if I can mix the frequencies to attend this training live or pause the Reiki for 12 weeks. So that's two. How do we know if we're suitable and can we do it with other trainings?
What I've been shown again and again is everyone who is listening to this, that out of all the things in the world and all the ways people could be spending their time, if they're listening to us talk about this Arcturian crystal chamber healing, that means that you are in resonance with it. If you are not in resonance, you wouldn't be listening to it, you wouldn't be thinking about it. And the Arcturians, again, they're so harmonic. These are the most ancient, advanced, spiritually and technologically, highly loving, highly joyful, highest dimensional beings in our galaxy. They're the keepers of pure spirit and higher consciousness. So anyone who is aligned with pure spirit, anyone who's aligned with the light of the cosmos, with that higher consciousness, has a connection with the Arcturians, because again, they are consistently beaming their light down. So everyone listening, I was going to just say, Natasha, don't worry, you definitely are. But the Arcturians keep saying, everyone listening, you would not be here called to listen. And it is very complementary with Reiki. One can you could continue the Reiki training at the same time, or definitely pause the Reiki training. At least having Reiki level 1, I've been shown, is also a really, really good foundation for this. If anyone doesn't and has no experience in healing, reach out to me and Loren. I can find a way to maybe even gift you the Reiki level 1 if you join the Crystal Chamber Healers Academy. But it's very, very complimentary. Reiki is kind of how we learn how to turn that light switch on, start working with channeling the universal life force frequency. And in this, we are still channeling similar frequencies to that, but these, some even I'm shown even more pure and refined and targeted and effective with these specific healing modalities that the Arcturians have trained me in. So that's a great question. I also got another great one last night on Instagram too, Loren, if you don't mind me sharing. Someone said, I feel like I'm a bridge for people who may not be in the spiritual world at all to kind of, that middle point. So, what if I do? I'm ready for it and I feel really called to learn these healings, but I don't feel ready to be like, I'm an Arcturian healer or something like that. It seems too kind of far out or something for the individual. And I did a tune in, I communed with the Arcturians and they started sharing that you don't have to, many people will want to because we are in a time of massive awakening. We're in the galactic awakening where more and more and more people want this galactic connection and want this type of healing because they recognize it's the most advanced healing that we have available to us. But if anyone doesn't feel comfortable saying, I'm doing Arcturian healings or crystal chamber healings, what they were sharing is that because these healings are really rooted in what humanity needs the most, that the individual could instead just say, I've been trained in specific healings for the nervous system, for the hormones, for the aura. You don't have to say it's coming from the Arcturians or anything like that. If anybody doesn't have that level of comfortability or they feel like they're working with people who might be like, whoa, that's out there or something like that. So I thought that was a really great question. And I loved how they opened that up that you can work with these frequencies, you can offer these healings in a way that is more grounded and can reach people where they're at, which is what the Arcturians want.
Yes. Oh, that is so wonderful because we know, as you said, so many people are waking up and some are waking up rapidly. Some have been just curious along the way, becoming more and more curious. And others are like, they just know, they know in their hearts that they're meant to do something more. So this is a beautiful opportunity. And I love that. I love how we can offer it. Some courses will say you have to say the exact title of what it is that we're teaching, but this is open and expansive in that way that it can be wherever the person is, the client is. So I love that because I think even young awakened ones, not necessarily young in a physical form, but people new to the awakening process, they do recognize energy healing. That term is like a good, what do you want to call it? Like a beacon of light. And so they'll be like, I'm interested in that. So this is a good way to get in and support all of those people. And then they'll advance when you do say who, that you may get the question, who are these beings that I feel? And then we can say, oh, it's the Arcturians. So it's wonderful. I really love that.
And
Love that.
facilitate people's cosmic awakenings because we all have different awakenings at different points, and then help them realize this connection is there when that time is right. I really, really love that. That's really special. But then in general, like I shared, you can just say, I've been trained in specific modalities to help heal for healing for the nervous system or healing past trauma, the emotions, whatever it may be, and that I'm working with benevolent, higher dimensional beings of light who are supporting me in this process. But then, yes, more and more people, we're in the age of cosmic disclosure and galactic disclosure, and more people want this. So it really is kind of a way to be more on the leading edge of what healing is stepping into, what we're stepping into.
It's so excited. We're really excited. So again, I want to ask our audience if you are being called to this. If you are, you can raise your hand on Zoom and we can hear your voice. So you can share your voice with us. But this is really fascinating because we know when we do this work, I just want to share, we've got more questions, but when we do this work, Hillary, you said it as well. You've been on this path for and teaching and working with clients for 18 years now, and you're still removing layers. There's a point where we are moving into galactic consciousness with the disclosure and all of that. And so what does that mean? Again, that means that we are being inspired and supported by these higher beings in the illumined realms. And so it's an incredible opportunity for everyone to advance their own personal growth, but then take this out into the world in such a remarkable and beneficial way for everyone. So thank you, everyone, for your interest in this. So let's see. Thank you. Kathy has a question. So how do we know as healers we are connecting with Arcturians? Okay, trust and practice.
Yes, so that's one of the main things that so the first couple modules in the Healers Academy, we're one doing a lot of clearing to open up the psychic senses. Two, we're meeting our galactic teams, which are the Arcturians, Palladians, Andromedans, Lyrans, Alpha Centaurians, Syrians. And we really get to know their signature frequency and where you can tune into the frequency, and where when you call upon them or ask for their assistance, call in the light of the crystal chambers, you will feel the energetic vibration that they are with you. And there are also specific sort of practices that I've been given to ensure that when you're calling on these beings of light, that there would not be any like imposter beings or anything like that, that you're really working with the highest beings of light, including the Arcturian Council, including the Crystal Chamber Master Healers. And and that is kind of the first few part of what we're working on in the first few modules of the Crystal Chamber Healers Academy is really solidifying that connection where you know it's them, you feel that connection with them, and really it is, I believe it, even you said trust, and that is one of the main things as well too. I was even shown that is that when we believe, oh, we can't connect, or there's some kind of block, or Hillary's so connected but maybe I'm not as connected or something. I've even had moments like that. So I do some processes where I work with people on the belief that these are really powerful, benevolent beings of light who are so aware of us, who are so um, wanting to support us in many, many different ways, that they are constantly reaching out. So all we have to do is believe, have faith, and kind of allow that communion as well too. One of the teachings I was given is like you attune yourself to the frequency while the frequency is attuning to you, because the frequency is always coming to you. It's if we're allowing it, if we're believing it, if we're really stepping into it. So that's a lot of what we work with as well.
That is so cool. And I know that some are even experiencing this. So if anyone is experiencing this connection that Hillary's talking about, please share with us. We want to hear from you about that. And Hillary, it is totally true. It is this belief. And for years, I would not believe. But then in my dream space, I would be in a ship and then I would wake up. And when I would wake up first in the morning, I'd hear very clearly, now do you believe it's real? And that was amazing. And just a week and a half ago, I had an experience where I was attuning like that. Like you say, we have to raise our energy to meet this energy. And I looked and I saw this cloud. it was like around 4:30. The sky was starting to get less in the sunlight. And this cloud, it was almost like a lenticular cloud behind another fluffy cloud. And I felt into it and I felt that feeling that you're talking about. It was undeniable, a feeling of happiness and harmony and peace and joy. It was so loving. And then I closed my eyes and I saw that image with my eyes closed, and it was bluish and gold, and it was so amazing. So I'm gonna say it feels Arcturian, but it also feels like there's other beings that could be on ships together. So that's a question. And this is also Kathy's question. Are the Arcturians working alongside other masters and ETs? Like, can we know there's Athena, the ship with the Arcturians, but can they be on other starships with other groups of beings?
Yes, I was getting
Mhm.
that what you were seeing was Arcturians and Lyrans. So the Arcturians work with the Lyrans, they work with the Syrians, the Palladians. The Palladians are kind of the space holders for the Crystal Chamber Healers Academy as well. They
Wow.
work with the goddesses, they work with the archangels, they work with the angels, they work with the ascended masters, like Ascended Master Jesus Christ. And many believe that Jesus was an Arcturian, which I've had confirmed to me many times as well. So, any beings that are benevolent and higher dimensional, the Arcturians work with. But also, what's really cool about working directly with the Arcturians is you get to work with all of these beings, and they are the beings that everyone in the galaxy looks up to, like the Syrians and the Palladians and the Lyrans. Everyone is aware that it is the Arcturians who went through the deepest, most transformational work to become as higher dimensional and as one with source consciousness as possible. That's another question I received too. Like, are they working with source? And yes, they are the keepers of pure spirit and higher consciousness, working directly with source. So there's a fleet of light ships that are crystalline powered, including the mothership, the starship Athena. It's called the starship Athena because they work with goddess Athena. Even goddess Hathor, who in a previous life I was a high priestess in the Hathor temple in Dendara. And Hathor, the goddess, the Egyptian goddess, also expresses as a group of interdimensional, intergalactic Hathors. So one time after a deep connection with the Arcturians, and then I was working with all the goddesses, and I thought it was separate. And then I was shown like they even work with the goddesses, like Goddess Athena, Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, Jesus, all of the star beings. I mean, there is a massive team of light. That's what I'm being told right now that is gathered for this momentous occasion on Earth and to support us through this. So I love that you
I
saw that cloud and you knew, because what I'm
knew.
being shown, like the blue light was the Arcturians, and then that like golden light was the Lyrans, and they were working together. And of course they will join each other on the different starships and things like that.
It really is so beautiful and wonderful. And so thank you for that. I am, when you say that Jesus, it's like that's why this is called the Galactic Healers Academy. The Arcturian, it's with the Arcturians with their crystal chambers, but it's all the beings, the higher beings that can join us. And so we'll just attune to each of those beings. And the mind always wants to ask questions like, how do I know? How do I know if it's it? But we will work with that. That will come to us like that muscle flexing, like you said, we'll get stronger and stronger at it. So it's a beautiful experience for everyone. And Jesus, I've been working with the Blu-rays and what I know as the Blu-ray Collective, and I call it the Sofa Council, my sofa council, because these beings, my guides, come and sit on my sofa with me. And they are all Arcturians and they're blue rays, but that does include Kuan Yin, Djwal Khul, Saint Germain, Sanat Kumara. We would think we would label some of these beings, but they're all working for this great mission of ascension on our planet, and it's so supportive. So awesome, very cool. And Jesus is an Arcturian. Tom Kenyon even wrote a book about that. Jesus is Arcturian. So isn't that very, very cool? So we don't need to label it, but it almost seems like it's a corridor of ascension. It's like an office where we ascend to different levels. And the Arcturian office is almost like an office of Christ. That's what I feel. So interesting.
The
Okay.
Christ is the crystalline, and the Arcturians are primarily working with the crystal living light, the crystal liquid light, that Christos,
Wow.
that crystalline frequency.
Wow.
100% Loren.
Wow. So very, very cool, everyone. All right, let's see. Here's another last question from Kathy. So, how do we know we are related to Arcturians over other beings?
Oh, this is a great question. It reminds me of what I was just about to say, and then I will answer it. So, just as
Hey,
Jesus came and had his earthly incarnation, but had these really advanced healing abilities and this way to connect through a higher frequency of love, we are like that too. So many of us have had incarnations on Arcturus or in the Pleiades, in the Lyra system, in Andromeda. And we also have these innate healing abilities in our soul. And this is really about activating that. So, someone could tune in and meditate and really ask to be shown like what are my lineages, what are my star family lineages, or you can have a session with someone who can do that reading for you. One of the many sessions I offer is actually called a soul essence reading, where I activated a gift to be able to see what I'm shown is that our soul self, like the multidimensional light body, our eternal being, is infused with frequencies from our incarnation. So if someone had had different incarnations on Arcturus, then they would be an Arcturian star seed, because that wisdom of those lifetimes on Arcturus and that frequency is infused into their soul essence. The same could be with someone in the Pleiades star system, or in the angelic realm, or in the fairy realm, or working with the goddesses and the divine feminine. So you can ask to be shown that in states of meditation, or you can have a session with someone who can see those things and then kind of tell you. When we're starting, it's nice sometimes to have that support. When I had my cosmic awakening and I was instantly speaking Arcturian light language, which is soul language, multidimensional healing, which I train everyone in the Healers Academy in light language as well, how to heal through light language. There's so much included. But I was
wow.
instantly speaking Arcturian, Andromedan, and Palladian. I believe at that time, because I had not had my cosmic awakening, I was familiar with the Pallades, but I'd never even heard the word Arcturian in this lifetime. And I had support from someone who had been had their cosmic galactic awakening 10 years before me, and this was around 7 years ago. And I would speak and she's like, that's Arcturian. And then she's like, okay, what else is coming through? I would speak a different light language, that's Palladian. Then I would speak a different one, that's Andromedan. And I was like, wow, I don't know if I would have known all of that information instantaneously. So it's good to have support with it, and that support that I offer as well.
Wow. Okay. So not only will we activate our connection and these healing abilities, but wow, that light language. I'm going to ask you as we close our show to share a little bit of the Arcturian light language or any other light language that comes through, because
I'd
that
love
is
to.
really, really powerful. Very cool. Okay. So here is a question. All right. This is from someone, I don't have a name, but this person says, Hillary mentioned that each of us have one particular Arcturian with us, but I can't seem to experience this. So how do I do this? And what if this doesn't happen?
It's not that it's not happening, it's our awareness and our choice. And sometimes it means sitting a little bit longer in meditation, tuning in. But what I'm being shown is you don't have to know who your primary Arcturian guide is. And this is something that just dropped in about a week ago, was that everyone listening, because there are many Arcturian light beings, has a specific Arcturian that is connected with them. One, you don't have to know who it is right now. Those who do the Crystal Chamber Healers Academy in the first module, that's what we're going to be working with even more deeply. But two, it's like you have this assistant. So we all have a guardian angel and primary spirit guides. And just because you don't know the name of your guardian angel or who they are, doesn't mean that you don't have that assistance. And this goes back to the previous question of, but what if I don't know who it is? And what I'm being shown is, well, one, when you're doing these specific healings in the crystal chambers, the Arcturians will always be with you, and you can just know that. They're double confirming that for me. But two, when you work with these specific sort of incantations, intentions that I've received, that only the purest, highest beings of light, only the beings pure enough to pass through the soft pink cosmic golden light, only the beings with the purest, highest intentions can connect to you. What the Arcturians are saying is, because there are so many beings of light, again, angels, archangels, ascended masters, benevolent higher dimensional galactic beings, fairies, goddesses. If the light and the energy and the benefit is coming through, you don't always have to know exactly who it's coming from, as long as you have set those intentions that you're only that the being is purely intentioned, is in alignment with love, is benevolent and higher dimensional, that you can do the healing work with these different guides and you don't always have to instantaneously know. I had a friend who said she'd been working with a Palladian guide for like 5 years, and then she finally received the name of this Palladian guide and what her purpose was. So they're saying that's not what's most important. What's most important right now is allowing ourselves to be conduits for this healing frequency to come through for the highest benefit of all. And some of us have different skill sets, more refined or honed than others. So some may be able to channel the healing energy frequency more powerfully. Others may be able to be more understanding, compassionate, empathic. Others may receive more specific information, like your guide is named George or something like that. But we all have our own way to do it, and it's all beneficial.
That is a relief that we can trust and know just by the feeling, right? This is where the feeling and the sensation of the energy that we're working with is there, and it's supportive, and we don't have to label it. We don't have to worry about the names. We don't even have to worry about, gosh, if it's Palladian or Lyran. I guess that will come later as we get more equipped, but that is really healing, and knowing that we can hold that beautiful space. That is the container of healing in itself, and we will be supported. And also, the higher self, our higher self is always in charge, right?
Yes.
So our higher self is actually helping to facilitate all of these healing sessions with the higher self of the other person. Maybe you want to share a little bit more about what you sense about this, because this cannot go wrong. There's nothing that we can mess up on in any session that we do when we're aligned and connected in that way, right?
100%. The higher
Mhm.
self is in charge, and we always have free will, and the recipient of the healing always has free will. Two things I do when I'm starting a session, I call in the higher self of the recipient, their eternal light body, to fully enter their physical body and oversee. Their higher self is the captain of receptivity and integration, and they are that kind of job is given to their higher self. Then my higher self, I ask to oversee the session in the highest light. And what I'm often shown to do is that my higher self, because I do all my sessions on Zoom the past few years, my higher self will astral travel to where the recipient of the healing physically is. And then my higher self is, I'll like see my hands of my higher self on their shoulders or working on their heart, and it's like my higher self is physically there with them. But thank you for bringing this up. It's so important. The Arcturians are here to assist and bring the frequency and this really high love and this high um, spiritual healing technology, but it's us to receive, and our higher selves are the captains in all of this. They are in charge.
Yes, so that is very comforting. Absolutely. Okay, so I see Caroline, she's joining us. She's already signed up. Caroline, we're so happy to have you, and she's really excited to get started. So we're going to talk a little bit more about all of the beautiful segments in this course in just a moment. There are a few more questions. I really do love that light language aspect of it. So Deborah has this question. When speaking light language, does one know where it comes from and what it means? And I want to say, Deborah, we just replayed this light language summit on New Earth One. Go check that out. Light language is source. It's almost like cosmic language. But Hillary, I'm going to let you answer that question. Do we have to know where it comes from and what does it mean? Do you know what it means? Do we even have to know what it means?
You don't have to know what it means. I was trained in light language, and the training that I received, part of it was that you work with these different sort of gatekeepers. You call upon these beings to ensure that only the highest, most beneficial, multidimensional codes of healing light are coming through. So some people may ask, I ask, say, Archangel Michael or Mother Mary or my Arcturian guide, my Palladian guide, to ensure that only the highest frequencies are coming through. And then I teach the specific process within the Crystal Chamber Healing Academy, where one, we're activating that light language in the specific process to allow these healing transmissions, these multidimensional codes of light to come through. We can feel an intention. Let's say we're doing the nervous system regeneration healing, and all of the healings, light language is optional. If you want to bring it through, if it wants to come through, you can bring it through, even if you've never done it, because we do a full training in it where you can hold this intention that the light language I'm sending in this moment is to unwind, regenerate, recalibrate, optimize the nervous system. You can hold the intention that the light language is coming through for a specific intention. But my teacher taught me that light language is not meant to be translated and cannot be translated into English. That these multidimensional healing codes are a transmission, they're a frequency of pure source light. It is important to do the specific things to make sure that only that highest frequency of light is coming through, which is what I train people in. But then as it comes through, the sounds and tones should not be and are not meant to be translated into English, because they can't be. They're beyond English or Spanish or Chinese or any other language that we may speak on Earth, and can't be, it's like the frequency as opposed to this, it can't be translated. And we don't want to try to translate it, but there can be an intention behind it.
So I want to ask you now, there's another question or two, but I wanted to ask you now, Could you share a little light language? And you don't have to say who it's from, but maybe we'll be able to tell, or maybe when you're done, you can tell who and what it was. But that would be wonderful, Hillary.
Amazing.
You.
So everyone can tune in, tune back into that Arcturian light frequency, attuning yourself to these fields, these holographic fields of the living crystalline liquid light all around you. And when you're receiving a light language transmission, what I really recommend is you breathe it in. I've been told many times that our breath is our number one tool for receptivity. And it is a frequency of light that is coming through that you can literally just allow yourself to breathe that frequency in for your highest benefit. So we ask your higher self to fully enter your physical body and oversee this light language transmission. Often with light language too, there will be some people light language literally just so I'm already doing it now. I'll speak it in a moment, but it comes through hand movements. Other people will write light language. Other times it comes through different tones and sounds, and everyone sounds different. So I always recommend you don't have to ever try to make your sound like someone else. You trust the way that it comes through you. So I'm really setting the intention now that these codes be for the highest healing, harmony, and balance. Ikalamani ala kanti kalamani ala nya tikanti kalamati kalamani ala kati kolamani ala kati kani niko nani ala kani ala nani akati kolama ye kolamati kalamani ala katika yetiko aka kalamani yetiko la kati kalamata kalakati kalatika ala kani ala matika Yeko kama leanze kala ke kala kanya la kia. Yeko la mania la tikantu koanya data kala koratka. Ni o a kala ma. Yate komania la kia te koama raka. A kola. Ye la mania la ko. Breathing it in, highest harmonization. Balance, recalibrating whatever's in the way of your highest harmony. Yakani amani ala kati kola mani ala katika. Yeti kola mani ala takalama. Yakala mani ala kati kola mati kala katiko. And so it is. It's always good to ground after receiving light language so you can connect a tube, maybe a tube of light to your tailbone, dropping that down to the core iron crystal, the first dimension. And I'm getting the message that these frequencies will continue to integrate over the next 15 minutes.
Definitely raising our frequency, all of that. It's so beautiful. Again, when we tune into the feeling, that is remarkable. When I find it fascinating that people on their spiritual path have, it begins with their awakening. Maybe they have trauma. They know that they've got this baggage that they don't want to carry anymore. And so that is one of the first steps on their healing journey. But then after this happens, we move into our heart, and then we are able to expand in all new ways. And this light language comes through so many people spontaneously. Some people can be trained in it. Others just start seeing it, toning it, drawing it, speaking it, maybe sometimes in the shower or in their car. Sometimes it's even clicks, right? It doesn't even have to be a language. So that's something to pay attention for. And I share that because it's just the journey of the path that humans are on in this spiritual awakening and what's in store for us. So for those who have been opened to light language or speaking it, and even if you haven't been, that's an indicator that you have been on this path and that you're ready for a course like this that will advance your healing abilities. Have you always wanted to be a healer? Has that been something that you just didn't know how to embark on? Well, now there is a clear path with a tremendous amount of support. So that's why we encourage you to check out this program. And we're going to talk about that as well. Before I get to that, I do want to get to this really interesting question. Dawn asks, is the living light frequency from the Arcturian crystal healing chambers considered scalar light?
I believe scalar light is part of that frequency. So the scalar light, I know I'm not an expert in it, but I know it can be like the earth frequency, also the sun frequency. What I'm being shown is scalar light is within it. The crystalline light frequency is within it, sound vibration, light vibration, the Arcturian blue healing light, also the violet flame. The Arcturians really do work with Saint Germain, and a really pure source light where the Arcturians kind of channel and refine that source light as well. But yes, that's a great question. There definitely is scalar technology within the crystal chambers as well.
Thank you for that clarification. So Deborah has a comment, a question based on the light language. If one only watched your hands, would it have the same effect, or is it the sound as well that is the light language?
And that's what I was sharing, that some people, light language comes through physical body movements, hand movements, or written, which can all be just as effective. So yes, it could have just been as effective just with the hand motions. This, the sound could amplify that, but let's say there is this transmission of multidimensional healing frequencies of light coming through. It's coming through both my hands and it's coming through my voice. I've never thought of this before, but the Arcturians are showing me right now it's actually coming through more powerfully through the hand than it is through the voice. That may not be the case for everyone, but that was the case for me right now in this particular instance. And it was Arcturian light language. So that's a great question. So for some people, it would just be hand motions. And I have a graduate of the Crystal Chamber Healers Academy last year because this coming up is the second round. And she was like, I didn't even know I was speaking light language. I didn't know that was light language before. So it's really what Loren had said about people who may not even be aware, or sometimes they speak like a what seems like gibberish to their dog or something. They don't know they're speaking light language to their dog.
You know, that I've thought of that before when I talk to my cat, and I'm like, that is something. Yeah. So, all right, it's light language because it feels good and it's loving and supporting and it's fun and it's playful. So that really is fun and exciting. So, okay. So for those who have experiences with light language or feel these energies or are feeling the inner call to share this, to step into your mastery level. This is a new level of mastery. So welcome to your graduation. You are invited to join us in the Crystal Chamber Galactic Healers Academy. I'm going to put the link right now in our Zoom chat box, and we're going to talk about it. We've talked about it before, but this is really a very powerful and comprehensive program that has every corner covered. Hillary, tell us more about this because it's 12 sessions. People can scroll down on the page that they see there, but this is everything. It's not just the 12 weeks with you, but there's so much more. There's other programs. There's the bonuses, 3 bonuses that are very full of other information as well. So tell us more.
Yes, I don't hold back. So this is like,
Oh,
there's no like level one and then level two, which is fine if other people offer it that way. But when I create something, it's like it will be everything that I know, but in a very accessible, clear, and loving way, where again, during these 2 hour live Zoom sessions, you receive every healing in the group transmission, and then you receive the comprehensive training and how you can facilitate this healing on yourself, on another individual, or another group, which includes how to anchor the light and access the crystal chambers, as well as ceremonial healing. So, working with entire beings of light, like we've been talking about, archangels, ascended masters, animal spirit guides, the Arcturians, the Palladians. Intuitive expansion, where you learn the column clearing technique and a lot of my best techniques on really what I'm being shown is accessing that intuitive state, that intuitive frequency. The training on light language, a sort of activation of it, and then the specific processes on how to bring through these really pure, beneficial codes of light language, as well as quantum frequency healing. So that is in this unified quantum field that is the all in all, that is the waves of every possibility. We can tune into an infinite number of frequencies and channel very specific healing frequencies for specific intentions. For example, I'm always shown that the adrenal glands in the kidneys love the Arcturian blue light and like the lapis lazuli frequency. This is a lapis lazuli that I always work with, where you could channel the specific frequency of a rose or an archangel or any sort of plant, crystal frequency, beneficial galactic frequency, so light language, and quantum frequency healing. And then there's the full training in the nervous system regeneration. There are three core healings where, again, these ones, no one else is teaching these. These are what the Arcturians have specifically brought forward for me to train others in. One is the nervous system regeneration. The nervous system regeneration also comes with a bonus, which is a 6 part audio transmission program, 40-minute long professionally recorded audios, where it's a transmission of the nervous system healing and activates the crystal chamber healers to support your nervous system healing. So in the live group, you receive the nervous system generation and you're trained on how to facilitate it. Each module training comes with like a 30-page PDF. It's very, very comprehensive. But also, I have this gift and something that I mentioned where growing up, I was very shy and very sensitive, and I found things incredibly hard to understand. I couldn't tell the difference between my left and my right hand side. I couldn't read a clock. The clock's in front of me, and they're like, "What time is it?" I'm staring at the clock. I didn't know how to read a clock. I couldn't tell the difference between my left and my right. When I was younger, I did not do well in school. I found things very complicated and very confusing, and I was highly sensitive and highly empathic. I think because of that, well, one, I never thought I would be a teacher. I used to think I wasn't good enough to really do anything. But when I did become a teacher, I have this ability to make things that could be very, very complex, very simple, powerful, and easy to integrate because I teach in the way that I may have needed to learn when simple things didn't really click in for me. Like someone would say, raise your right hand. And I'm like, which one is the right? Which one is the left? So don't feel like, as even though these are advanced healings, I've really, what the Arcturians have taught me how to do is really streamline. So you'll have like a 1 page on this is exactly the steps to facilitate this healing. And it is simple and easy to do. And again, you're doing it in a ceremony where you have a whole team of light and you're holding space. So the hormone harmonizer is one of the core healings, where of course we work with every gland in the endocrine system: pituitary, pineal, hypothalamus, thyroid, thymus, um, pancreas, adrenals, ovaries, testes. And this is the process to really harmonize, decalcify these different glands. And like the nervous system regeneration, the gift is that you receive an 8-part audio transmission program where you receive it on each one of the glands. And then again, you're trained. And this is like the nervous system and the hormones are one of the primary things that they're the first things the Arcturians trained me in, saying that they knew there were forces of control, forces who are focused maybe on money and not trying to benefit humanity, that these were the two primary systems that were causing people so many problems and really blocking the ascension path. So those are two of the very core ones, and they each come with an audio transmission program. Then it's mastering the cosmic clearing techniques, where if someone has a cord implant hook for 1 year, everyone who was coming had all these metal pieces in them, some in their sinuses, and they have nonstop sinus infections and metal pieces in all kinds of places, and how to kind of clear out anything that is unbeneficial and doesn't belong there. And then there's the aura repair, and the aura repair is the third healing that comes with an audio transmission program as a bonus. The quantum timeline harmonizer is, I personally have been through a lot of trauma in my life, a lot of trauma. There's a kind of a test. It's not really a test, but there's a quiz like called ACEs, which is called Adverse Childhood Experiences, which essentially are the most significant traumas an individual under 18 years old can experience: having a drug addict parent, having a parent in prison, being abused. I had 9 out of 10 of those. So I experienced 9 out of 10 of the most significant traumas that an individual can experience before the age of 18. So I had a tremendous amount of trauma to clear. And I spent a long time doing that. So the Arcturians taught me the specific process called the quantum timeline harmonizer, where we can enter the timeline of a memory that may still be causing someone distress. Without reactivating the trauma, we can go in, find the benefit in the situation, literally harmonize the whole situation, rewire how the brain views the situation. This healing in its own could be an entire course. We do 2 modules on the quantum timeline harmonizer because this is something that is very important, where often it is that past trauma that may be blocking an individual in certain ways. And really, it's the belief system. It's not what happens to us, it's what we choose to believe after something happens to us, that has such an impact on our life experience, on our physical health, on our mental well-being, our emotional well-being. So this process is really powerful, and we spend 2 weeks on the quantum timeline harmonizer. So that kind of walks you through it. Another recent bonus that I've added is that because we have some people joining from Europe, and the sessions are going to be on Wednesday evenings at 7:30 Eastern time, there's 2 things I want to say about that. If someone cannot join a session live, I prepare the energy for each individual. So those who can be live, the energy activates live in that moment. Those who will watch the replay, the energy will activate when they watch the replay. And I'm including 3 bonus sessions, probably at noon on Sundays or Saturdays once a month, which will be community connection time and Q&A. So if anyone's joining from Europe or outside of North America and it's too late to join for the evening sessions, you can come get to know the group, answer any questions that you may have. So there's a lot of bonuses included, the 3 audio programs, these 3 community sessions, the 12 2-hour sessions on Zoom. Each one comes with like a 30-page PDF, but I make it as easy to integrate as possible. Like you don't have to spend the week reading the 30-page PDF because I'm doing the comprehensive training in each one of those. And those who sign up through New Earth One will receive special gifts for Loren too. So do you want to share a little bit about that, Loren?
Yes, we're so excited. I'm so excited to offer this beautiful training to the audience here because it is really important at this time. And I really feel that people are ready. So I know you know in your hearts if this is meant for you, and we invite you to join us. So, one of the things that we're going to do, because you can take this out into the world in one-on-one sessions. And you can also do group sessions, and you can also market. So what I'm going to offer for everyone who registers, you're going to get the Media Production 101 course. And if you have that already, wonderful. There's other bonuses that will be live Zoom courses that teach you how to hold space on Zoom, how to record on Zoom. That's part of our media production course, and really help you create a lead magnet to take this out into the world so that you can build your audience for these healing sessions. So it's a little bit of these necessary tools that we need in business to cultivate our audience, to grow our audience, the essential tools that you might need to start your business. So it's really well-rounded because you've got this incredible, very comprehensive healing course with all these sessions and modality types. But then how do you take that into the world? So you're going to be supported on that as well. And there's a lot to cover there. Say, for example, you want to create a recording. Maybe you do something on Zoom and you wanted to add in a nice introduction video. You're going to learn how to create an introduction video. You can create videos without even putting yourself on camera. It could just be nice, beautiful imagery. You're going to learn where to go to get that imagery, the stock buyout, all the essential information that keeps you legitimate and honorable in your video production, if that is what you choose. So it's media production, video and audio, and then a little business training as well. And I know Hillary is teamed up with a beautiful soul, her husband, who also is going to offer a surprise at the end of the course as well. So everyone will be covered in extreme supportive ways for this. So we're really excited. Thank you for that. Um, and you know what, Hillary, I'm gonna say there's a question. If we already signed up for the Academy training, but not through Neo, does your offer apply? I'm gonna say yes, because this is so important. Of course, I will make sure that Hillary has the links to get you in, no matter where you came from, because it really is important. And we do, so you get a library of videos, over 20 hours of how-to videos on, it's a learning curve, but you can stop and watch these videos at any time or just go to the video for something that you need. But the bonus is live media labs. We're going to do live media labs where you can come and ask your question. So you can say, I just need to know how to do this. And we can train on that in the media lab. So it's really wonderful. And let's see. Great. So I wanted to say another thing. We have a very special price right now. We have a flash sale going on. So for all of you here, you're going to get this for $200 off well, not the normal price, but it's even an additional $200 off in this flash sale. And that sale ends tomorrow, February 9th at midnight Eastern time, exactly 11:59 Eastern time. So we encourage you to sign up for it. If you haven't watched the introductory video that we did, that was a special masterclass that really has you feel the frequencies. So you want to check that out. and we invite you to register for this. We have a 2-payment plan, a 3-payment plan, and I know some of you have reached out for other options. We try to help you if we can. So connect with us. Ask us if there's anything that we can do for you. So thank you. We're excited, Hillary. I'm so excited. I want to say, even the group bonus sessions that you're doing to build the community connections, everyone that comes, that pod, it's like a dolphin pod. It's like soul family. Everyone that comes, whether they're listening to the replays and then joining on the bonus sessions on Sundays, that is our connection. And so I invite everyone to really get in that group and make connections in that group, because it's really powerful for you moving forward. And it's a support system of its own. It's like minds that you can share information with. Do you have any offerings on this, Hillary, or any comments about how this is also an opportunity for people to maybe practice on each other before taking it out into the world?
Thank you for reminding me of that. So that's another big part of it. I just want to celebrate Loren and her incredible generosity even more. We are so grateful. So again, there's Loren's bonuses, there's all of the audio transmission programs, there's the 12 sessions on Zoom, and then the 3 community Q&A. And part of the reason I want to do the community Q&A is you can get to know each other and see who you're really resonant with, because I create a spreadsheet where I share, where whoever wishes to could share their email address or their WhatsApp contact and what country they're in, or even what area code. And we try, based on area codes, that people can partner up with each other and do a session trade. So not only do you get to practice, let's say you practice a 60-minute nervous system regeneration, you get to get feedback, build confidence, but also then you receive a 60-minute nervous system regeneration healing as well too. So that's how I set it up with our dolphin pod of participants, are these cosmic souls where you can build deeper connections and then get that experience. But then also it's very much a two-way street, because you get to practice giving the healing and practice receiving the healing. And maybe there's one person you want to do that with a couple times throughout the training, which again, it's optional. I recommend to do at least 3 practice sessions within the time or within the few weeks after the training, or maybe to get practice working on multiple people. There's 3 or 4 people that you want to do a session trade with, so you kind of get comfortable with different personality types and different issues that people may be going through, so that you can really bring that support. So I love that. I love trade sessions. I'm excited for everyone to get to receive that as well. And I support everyone in that, and make it easy to reach out to each other.
Awesome. So awesome. We are so excited. And I am going, I'm really excited about this as well. Here I am. I teach hypnosis and media production. I am registering for this class, everyone. I'm doing it. I am. This is called to me so deeply. I am so passionate about this. And it's really important. And so again, everyone, please feel into your heart, see if this is something for you. I just got to hit WhatsApp. Now, maybe many people in the United States are not so familiar with WhatsApp, but for the rest of the world, it is the go-to. It is like how people communicate on our phones in other countries. And I just got the impression that that is another marketing tool you can do. You can put an ad or a status on your WhatsApp, and you can send that to the people in your group, and that vibration will attract those who are interested to you. And so that's another marketing avenue, the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp. I just wanted to share that because it went ping in my mind, and it's powerful. So we're going to talk all about these beautiful things, ways that you can market all of it. And we're really excited, everyone. We're excited to have you. And If you have any questions, reach out to us and we will support you as best we can. Hillary, this is just so exciting for this remarkable year. Doesn't it feel like this year has moved since the beginning of this year? It's only been a couple of weeks, 6 weeks, but it feels like 6 months. The
Yeah.
shifts and the changes and the acceleration. Does it feel that way to you, or is it just me?
Oh, it feels that way to me for sure. And these will really bring the tools because what I'm shown is to be prepared that the shifts will continue. But then if there sort of is a shift, let's say a big Schumann resonance spike or a big solar flare, things are coming up for people, then everyone has these tools and resources where then, okay, before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to call upon the crystal chamber of healing, or when I wake up and meditate, I'm going to connect to the frequency of the crystal chamber of energy rejuvenation. So I think it's really pivotal because a lot is shaking up and a lot is moving, which means a lot of people need support, means we need support too.
Mhm.
And we have this support, this really profound cosmic and galactic support. And Loren, I am crying that you are going to do the training too, because when you were sharing about halfway in, the Arcturians kept showing me in the training too, but I would not have said that, but I
Mm.
kept seeing it again and again. And when you said that, it is a huge honor. And everyone who is a part of this, it is a huge honor. Your name is placed on a crystal grid on my altar. I do regular sending the Arcturian frequency. He's connecting you with the guides, with the crystal chambers, prayers, and intentions. It's an honor. And thank you, Loren. That really means the world to me. I'm truly grateful.
And we're grateful for everyone. We're grateful for you, Hillary, for offering this. And of course, the Arcturians and all the beings who are supporting us. And I just want to say, all right, I have to be careful because I'm going to cry here because this is my heart speaking. There is, okay, the need of the hour. We can literally see the need of the hour. We have the disturbance that's going on in the collective. And that's why all of us are a bridge. Okay. And it doesn't matter if every single one of us on this call sign up for this course or just a few of us. It doesn't matter if other people are doing it. There's no competition because we each bring our own unique frequency to this offering and the way that we show up and express it. And I like to say when I'm teaching media production, and some people are like, well, why would I go teach this particular meditation or transmission if other people are already doing it? Well, if there's 100 yoga teachers in a room, that could be, people could say that's the same thing. Why would I teach yoga if there's 100 yoga teachers? But each yoga class is unique and different. And that's what goes on here. Each of us are unique and different and will express it in our own way. And people will resonate with you based on your energy and your frequency. So there really is no more competition on New Earth. We are here to be bridges, bridges for the great divide that's going on in our country. So when we see the divisiveness, this is a bridge. This is a bridge. Like you shared earlier, Hillary, about the person who can be a bridge to those who are newly waking up. There are many people that need this, and now is the time. So again, that's why we're so excited for you to join us. So thank you all. Thank you, Hillary. As we say goodbye, I want to give you a moment for final thoughts.
I feel our unity consciousness so deeply in this energy. I want to thank everyone for their sacred hearts. I want to thank you, Loren, for speaking from your heart. The Arcturians are literally bathing us in light and showing that everything Loren said is so true, and thanking her so deeply, and thanking each and every one of you for listening, that you are already doing this and being this bridge of light, and that we are harmonizing this planet and ourselves and the collective through this ascension process. And they're literally in awe of us, and the gratitude is beyond. So I really invite everyone to breathe that gratitude in and feel this connection. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Hillary, Faye, the Arcturians, and every heart watching. Your light, your love matters, and we are in gratitude. Namaste.
Okay.
Namaste. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.